What's up everybody, it's your boy French Cooking. Welcome back to the channel, and this is how to make beats for free episode 21. Today's free VST is one of the first ones I ever downloaded. It's called Zebralette by UE. I owe a lot of credit to Zebralette. I used it in all of my beats when I started out because not only does it have a wide range of presets, but I find that the sound design features are pretty straightforward even for beginner producers. So I actually started out making strip club anthems because I'm a sicko. So beats for like Lotto and Sexy Red and those types of female rappers. That evolved into making beats for Doja Cat. Okay, so still pretty hard, but down to 100 BPM and a little bit more melodic. And then naturally, since I was at 100 BPM, that led me into making West Coast melodic beats like Tyga's older stuff with Chris Brown. I think the bells, the leads, and the basses in Zebralette lend themselves perfectly to that type of beat. So I'm going to show y'all how I do that using the track Ayo by Tyga and Chris Brown as reference. Plus, we finally have beautiful weather, so let's get into the summer tunes. Summer tunes. We are at 101 BPM. I'm going to start off with this Pluck sound right here, and I'm going to use it to lay down my foundation for my melody. I think we got a pretty good foundation. I want to layer a pad behind that to give it a little bit more body. So I have this preset pulled up in Zebralette called SM Sanft, and I just copied the melody and I'm going to paste it in here. Next, I found this bell preset in Zebralette, and I'm going to use it just to accent certain notes in the melody that I want to be accented. Now to fill out some of the empty space after the bell, I have this bass preset in Zebralette, which I'm actually going to use as like an accent. You know what, I wanted to avoid using chords today because I always use chords, but the melody was feeling a little bit empty. So I tested out how it would sound with just very basic Rhodes chords in the background, and I like the way that it sounds. For effects, first I threw on the TAL-Chorus, which is great because not only does it give it a chorus effect, but it has great stereo separation as well. And second, I added this cassette simulation called OCS 45, which gives it a little bit of wobble, a little bit more character. Okay, now onto the drums. I'm going to go ahead and double this sequence. So it's 8 bars instead of 4. And I'll show you why once the drums are done being laid down. Couple things I want to note about these drums. The first is that I have this open hat, and I wanted it to kind of lead smoothly into the clap. So what I did is that I duplicated it up to A13, went to wave, and I clicked on reverse. The thing about MPC Beats is that it can be kind of difficult to quantize your sounds, or in other words, to make sure that your sounds are on time. So what you can do is use the hash marks in the wave menu to guide you. So I know that one hash mark in this wave menu is equivalent to 1/16 of a bar. So what I did is I moved this red marker over to this hash mark, and I counted 4 hash marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put the green marker here. So the sound is going to start at this red marker since it's reversed, and it's going to make its way over to the green marker where it's going to end. So what that means in my grid is that if I put the hi-hat, the reverse hi-hat here, we have 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, and it's going to stop right here on the 4th measure of the first bar, right before this clap hits. If you look closely, you can see the highlighted note here, which is the reverse hi-hat at the 3rd measure of the first bar. And when I play the drums, you'll see that it lines up perfectly with the beginning of the clap. And then the second thing is the song AO uses a lot of vocals, or it uses one vocal chop throughout the entire track. I didn't want to overdo it that much, but I did put a vocal in there. I found this one from LifestyleDidIt. But I wanted only the just for me part. So I went to sample edit, I chopped that up, I pitched it down to A minor because the sample's in C sharp minor, and I sped it up as well because the sample's in 85, but my track is in 101 BPM. For my 808, I followed the same pattern as my melody. However, there is one difference. My melody is like this, but I found that third 808 hit was kind of too high. Doesn't sound too good. So when that's the case, just move it down an octave. So it's the same note, but it's going to sound a little bit better. The opposite is true as well. If you find that your 808 is just a little bit too low, just move it up an octave. Same note, but it's going to sound better. Last but not least, I have this ARP sound from Synthmaster 2 that I'm going to bring in at some point in the verse, or maybe even the chorus, where it's going to give you a little bit of a break from that repetitive melody. That'll do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this type of beat because I enjoy making this type of beat the most. So be prepared for more of this content moving forward. Especially now that the sun's out, and most definitely that means that my bun's out. I'm not even wearing pants right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you next time.
This is French cooking.